Hello, everyone. My name is Brigitte Gibbs, and I am a rising senior at Fordham University. I am also the project leader and mentor of this study, and we're really excited to show you guys what we've been working on for the whole summer.
Hi, I'm Susanna Morshed, and I'm currently a rising senior in Brooklyn Technical High School and a research intern at Project True.
Hi guys, my name is Isaac Jimenez. I'm an incoming senior at Park East High School in East Harlem, and I'm a research assistant at Project.
Hi, my name is Julius McMyers, and I'm a rising senior at Bronx Science, and I'm a research assistant at Project True.
Hi, my name is Bryn Bennett. I'm a rising senior at Manhattan Hunter Science High School, and I'm a research assistant for Project True.
I'll start us off with the introduction. Throughout New York City, marginalized communities disproportionately experience the negative effects of urbanization and environmental degradation. Air and noise pollution, in particular, have had considerable negative health impacts on the South Bronx community. According to a 2011 study conducted in the Bronx, New York, there are various adverse respiratory health outcomes due to proximity to traffic pollution. Additionally, researchers have stated that detrimental health effects were strongly correlated with high levels of personal carbon exposure, suggesting that children living near roadways would be more likely to develop pollution related asthma. It is evident that due to the negative effects of environmental racism, such as the degradation of air quality in lower income neighborhoods, the respiratory health of South Bronx residents have been compromised. Air pollution is not the only negative environmental factor facing the South Bronx community. In 2012, it was found that noise pollution has significant negative impacts on one's physical and mental well-being. Some of these hazardous implications include hearing loss, sleep disruption, stress, and impairments in cognitive development among young children. It is clear that urbanization has caused various adverse health effects on humans, but can this be said for urban mammals in these spaces? In New York City, there are many species of mammals which exist amongst the city's human population. These include squirrels, raccoons, foxes, mice, rats, possums, and many more. According to a study conducted by researchers in 2013, there was a decline in species richness and diversity along the urbanization gradient, as well as an increase in the abundance of species that were best adapted to the city environment. The result of this study demonstrated that urbanization has an effect on small mammals in cities of all sizes, including New York City. Our study seeks to determine which factors are most impactful and in what ways. The study will also review how the urbanization factors of noise and air pollution specifically affect the small urban mammal population in a managed green space situated near or within these communities.
I'll be introducing our methods. We assembled and placed track tubes made out of rain gutters in various locations at each site observed, specifically close to and far from pathways. Paper lined the bottom of the tube and ink-soaked felt was placed inside on each end of the tube in order to track footprints of any mammal that entered. The bait consisted of peanut butter and oats was placed in a petri dish at the center of the tube. Transect tape was used to determine the placement of these track tubes as well as to measure the distance from pathways. On sites where more than one track tube was used, the first track tube was placed less than 100 meters away from the pathway, and the second one was placed more than 100 meters away from the pathway. We wanted to determine whether or not the noise and air pollution present due to the pathways had a significant impact on species richness and abundance. The final step was to use a field guide to determine which species had entered the tube based on footprints. Camera traps were also used in order to track mammal species richness and abundance. Both camera traps and track tubes were set up on Tuesday mornings and picked up on Thursday mornings on various sites used. An Airbeam and Decibel X app were used to measure urbanization factors like PM 2.5 and decibel levels, which indicated the amount of air pollution and noise pollution present. We took readings in the mornings and afternoons and determined averages for the day. We used EJ Screen, which is an environmental justice mapping and screening tool, to compare our PM 2.5 and decibel results to that of other neighborhoods in the Bronx and other counties across New York State. This was done to determine which neighborhood or county had the least amount of air and noise pollution and why that might be.
Our results show that out of the 3 sites, Site 8 had the highest amount of noise pollution with an average decibel count of 59.5 decibels. It is likely that this is due to Site 8's close proximity to Southern Boulevard, which is 44.6 meters away. Site 2 showed the lowest level of noise pollution with an average decibel count of 57.4 decibels. Site 3's average decibel level, 57.9 was between that of Site 8 and Site 2. Site 3 had the highest species richness with 6 species present, while Site 2 had the lowest species richness with 3 species present. Our results also demonstrate that air pollution is higher in the afternoon than in the morning throughout all 3 sites. The average PM 2.5 for all sites in the morning is 20.5 micrograms per cubic meter, while the average PM 2.5 in the afternoon for all sites is 47.4 micrograms per cubic meter. We found that there were a higher number of mammal species present throughout all sites at night and in the afternoon in comparison to mammal species present in the morning. Additionally, through the use of the EJ screen mapping tool, it was found that in comparison to the rest of New York State, the Bronx Zoo area is in the 50th to 60th percentiles of PM 2.5 levels. This means that the air pollution in this area is 50 to 60% higher than in the rest of New York State. The same can be said about this area's level of cancer risk. According to the National Scale Air Toxics Assessment, which estimates the cancer risk from air pollution, the neighborhoods between the Bronx have varying levels of cancer risk ranging from the 70th to 95th percentiles. These areas are at a 70 to 95% higher risk for developing cancer due to pollution.
So the Bronx Zoo in many ways benefits from having an expansive green area that is the Bronx Zoo and is available to people in the borough. It's been shown that people that live near green spaces benefit from a decreased risk of depression and stress, as well as a decreased risk of suffering from cancers like breast cancer, which makes our findings of a high risk of cancer in the surrounding areas even more noteworthy. The high cancer risk most likely has much to do with the aforementioned air pollution levels, which are actually higher in the area in comparison to the rest of the state, and are most likely responsible for the high rate of asthma in children in the borough in comparison to the rest of the country. This shows us the benefits of living near green spaces is diminished by large amounts of air pollution and excessive urbanization, which affects the mammals that frequent the zoo's grounds as well.
So overall, we could see from this study that the effects of urbanization, specifically air and noise pollution, not only have significant impacts on humans, but also significant impacts on small urban mammals that reside in the Bronx. So that's the end of our study, but we just wanted to take this time to thank the Wildlife Conservation Society, Fordham University, and all members of Project True for the opportunity to be part of this amazing program. And a special shout out to Emily Stowith, Cole Patterson, and Carolina Selane, who are our program and project coordinators. Finally, we want to think of all of the WCS staff who helped, supported, and guided us throughout this entire program and throughout our study.